Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining. Before I get started, I need to address something that has been in media news for a while. So, lately, the last time we seen The Rock, he was doing a documentary movie about the Smasher, the MMA guy, and he was very jacked for that. Recently, we have seen The Rock outside of media news. We have seen him, and the way he looks now is so much different than what he looked like last year when he was, or earlier this year as the final boss. It looks like The Rock has completely slimmed down. He still has muscles and everything. He's just severely slimmed down a little bit. And as long as it's not cancer, I'm good. But The Rock looks very different from what we're used to him being. Like, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, he seems to have lost a lot of weight and almost a few muscle pounds as well. So let's talk about tonight's episode of NXT. We opened up the show with Jada Parker versus Lash Legend, in which Lash Legend was successful, but Jada Parker was not having it. She decided to fight again and run herself and tackle Lash Legend through a barricade while giving a very malicious look towards the camera as the camera zoomed in. So this between Lash and Jada Parker is not over by a long shot. And a lot of the fans in NXT's Full Sail Arena have been watching way too much of the movie Friday. Of course, we also had, speaking of the two women, we know that Lash Legend is with Trick Williams, but rumor has it, that Jey Uso and Jada Parker are a thing for whatever reason. I don't know if that's true or not, but legend has it that they are a bit of a bond. Also, we had Jordynne Grace in action tonight against the Evolve Women's Champion. However, Jordynne Grace won. Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May, attacked, and they said Mariah May looks evil when she's angry. It was nothing like Jada Parker's. I don't care what anyone said. The look on Jada Parker's face tonight was much more malicious than anything Blake Monroe had. We had also tonight Josh Briggs pretending to be the Undertaker for a second. And I'm going to be honest, I did not, it for a second, Josh Briggs had me. Because when the motorcycle came in and the gong went off, everyone went crazy, but it was an April Fool's in September. Of course, we had him attack Javon Evans and then go on to have a match against Chase U's Andre Chase because his students have a big mouth. And speaking of, how is it that Booker T can tell Javon to mind his own business? No, Josh Briggs is the one pretending to be the Undertaker and sticking his nose in business that doesn't concern him. Let's be clear. Also, because of the trick that Josh Briggs pulled, Trick Williams was on the mic, pardon the pun, earlier, and he was talking. DIY came out. Now, when I heard DIY's music, I thought it was another lie because let's be honest, I've been a fan of WWE long enough to know that a lot of times people play tricks on you and a lot of times it's not what you think. So I'm like, you're not going to get me twice. You are not getting me twice. DIY or not here. I'm not falling for that again. I don't fall. That's the first time I've ever been tricked by Josh Briggs. Wasn't going to fall for it a second time. Except this time DIY was here. And they reminisced on the black and gold days of NXT, which, by the way, were very awesome. A lot of stellar matches, a lot of 5-star matches, including from NXT UK. However, after the double team move, I am assured in my mind that Carmelo Hayes will reunite with Trick Williams despite trying to kill him 2 years ago to fight DIY. Now, let me just say this: WWE has some of the most dysfunctional relationships. DIY, dysfunctional. Rock and Sock, okay. D Generation X, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, dysfunctional. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, dysfunctional to with every letter in caps locks. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are going to reunite, but let's not forget dysfunctional. Cora Jade, before she left, and Roxanne Perez would have also been very dysfunctional. You can't trust friends in WWE. Raquel and Liv Morgan will probably eventually become dysfunctional themselves. Moving forward, of course, we have tonight's main event. The main event of, by the way, I thought it was hilarious when the fans chanted, "Josh, the door. Josh, the door." But what was even more funny was during the match, they chanted, "Jox Briggs, go away. Chase, you can stay." Thank you, WWE and Europe. Thank you, Europe, for making some of the best chants for us to be inspired by. Tonight's main event was very shocking. We had Obafemi, Ricky Saints, and Hankin Tank versus Dark State. Dark State delivered a very good promo package earlier tonight talking about what led them to be who they are, and it was very good. I really believed in what they did. Of course, tonight's main event, they saw all four men starting off well. Even Obafemi looked like he was having fun impersonating Ricky Saints, which is something the Ruler does not do because he's usually a very serious kayfabe character. However, Obafemi had some fun tonight with Ricky Saints. They seemed to do well, but a miscommunication and accidents caused them to fight. And I said, here we go. Dark State's going to win again because Dark State is a team. Everyone else is just trying to work together. But to my surprise, when one of the guys called for Joe Hendry and he showed up, it gave the advantage for Hankin Tank to score the pin on one of the members of Dark State. And to my surprise, Dark State's undefeated streak, didn't last that long. The Shield's streak lasted longer than this. I thought Dark State were going to be more unstoppable, but I'm very surprised that they won tonight. Although I'm happy for Hankin Tank, I'm still surprised because Dark State had a lot of momentum. But let me know in the comments below what you thought about tonight's episode of NXT. Until next time, I'm your host, Daniel Cody, and that's all the time I have for you today. And I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. Peace out.